Multiply and divide mixed numbers. Example 1. If a vehicle can get 24 3/5 miles per gallon, how many miles can the vehicle go on 12.5 gallons? So for this problem, we will change these mixed fractions to fractions and then multiply. So we're looking at doing this. So let's convert this first. So 24 times 5 is equal to 120. So we did this. Then we're going to add 3 to get us 123. So now we have 123 over 5. So this is where we added. Next we have 12.5. So 12 times 2 is 24. Then we're going to add that 1 from here to get us 25. So we get 25 over 2. So now we can go ahead and set this up to multiply. So here we can now multiply. So what we can do then, this 25 and this 5 both have a factor of 5. So we'll just cross them out. So this 5 divided by 5 is just 1. Now 25 divided by 5 is 5. So then we're going to multiply this 123 times 5 and this 1 times 2. So on the bottom we get 1 times 2, which is 2. And then we get 123 times 5. 3 times 5 is 15, carry the 1. 2 times 5 is 10, plus 1 is 11, carry the 1. 5 times 1 is 5, plus the 1 is 6. So we get, so then we put 615 above, divided by 2. So 2 can go into 615 as we want to convert to a mixed number. So we go 2 into 6 3 times, subtract, we get 0, bring down the 1. 2 can't go into 1, so it's 0. Then we bring down the, so we have the 1 here. Then we bring down the 5. 2 can go to 15 7 times, which then is 14. We subtract, we get 1. So we're left with our remainder, which is 1. This is still our common denominator that we're going to keep. And then our whole number is 307, which is, and then 1/2. So this is our final solution. So this becomes 307 over 1/2. Let's go ahead and do another example. Example 2. A particular copper tubing weighs 1/3 pound per foot. How many feet of copper tubing is there if there's 40.5 pounds? So to solve, we will take 40.5 divided by 1/3. So we need to convert this first number into a fraction. So we have 40.5. So this becomes 40 times 2, which is equal to 80. Then we're going to add 1, so that gets us to 81. So then we're left with 81 over 2, because we want to keep the same denominator. And then we did this 40 times 2 here, and then we added that plus 1 from here. Okay, so now we can go 81 over 2 divided by 1/3. Now, remember with division, we can make it a multiplication by taking the reciprocal of the second number. So now we become 81 over 2 times 3 over 1. So the next thing we can do then is just multiply now. So we get this 2 times 1, and then we're going to go 81 times 3. So 81 times 3. 1 times 3 is 3. 3 times 8 is 24. So we're left with 243 on the top, and then 2 times 1 is just 2. Next, we're going to convert this to a mixed fraction. So we get 243, and we're going to divide by 2. 2 can go into 2 one time. We subtract. Then we get 0. We're going to bring down that 4 then. 2 can go into 4 2 times. So 2 times 2 is 4. Then we subtract. Then we bring down the 3. Now 2 can go into 3 one time. So we get 1 left over. So this remainder then gets brought up to here, and it's over our denominator of a half, or 2. So we get 121 over 1/2. And this would be how many feet of copper tubing there is. So let's go do one final example. How many pieces of a 1 5/16 inches long can be cut from 10.5 inches? We're going to use this to solve. So the first step is to convert into fractions. So we get 10 times 2, which is equal to 20. Then we're going to add 1, so this gets us to 21. So now we're left with 21 over 2. The next thing we're going to do is take 1 5/16. Do the same. So 16 times 1 is equal to 16 plus 5, which is equal to 21. So we're left with 21 over 16 on this one. Now we take 21.5 divided by 21 by 16. But how we make division into multiplication is we go 21.5, we multiply it, and then take the reciprocal of the second one. So now it's 16 over 21. So these 21s will cross out before we even begin to multiply, and they're just left as ones. And then this 2 is a factor of also 16, so we can cross out 2, and that becomes 1, and then 16 divided by 2 is 8. So then we're left with 1 times 8, and this 1 times 1. So we're left with 8 over 1, which is just 8. So we have 8 pieces can be cut. And that would be our final solution.